this year, I am the Publication Management Designer on the Public Relations Committee. So that just essentially means that I am in charge of designing all of our magazines, any documents that we set up. I'm in charge of formatting and designing. I work with my direct co-captain, who is the publication management writer. So she provides all the content for me, and then I go and kind of lay everything out in InDesign. So it's a very creative position.
What me and my team work on is Dash, the whole pass management system, the whole event management system of THON. Essentially, our job is to make sure that Dash is as easy to use and is as functioning for THON captains and volunteers and anybody who is participating in THON weekend.
So my role entails running THON's recycling and environmental efforts, which in short is called TREE. This is a program where we allow general organizations and committees and IDCs in Greek life to donate aluminum cans that are then resold to be recycled, and that money that they raise from that goes into their fundraising total. And then I'm also involved in furthering our THON community in sustainability education.
I am the volunteer development liaison on communications. So my main role, I worked with my two other co-captains, and we were focused on increasing the diversity, equity, and inclusion of THON. So particularly my role was focusing on creating programming for discussions. So discussions with committee members and with captains and directors.
So this year, my position on development is stewardship coordinator. So I kind of sit between both donor and alumni relations committees, both development and alumni relations, alumni engagement. And I have a team of four with me, four other captains, and together the five of us make sure that all of our donors, whether that be corporate, alumni, friends, family, are all benefited and stewarded properly.
I'm a supply logistics captain. My title is the paint, hardware, and lumber donor contact, as well as fundraising specialist. So my job is basically to contact donors about anything that committees request regarding anything that would be like paint or hardware, which is, screws, nails. Good summary of it would be anything you could find at Home Depot is kind of my domain. And then my fundraising specialist side is I do all of the alt funds, or I set up all the alt funds for supply logistics.
Pretty much as committee outreach coordinator, I have a couple of different moving pieces. The first one is I help out with education throughout the year for dance relations committee members. So I was tasked with creating weekly educational PowerPoints. I also had a couple pre-THON events that I was in charge of planning and executing. So Yellow Shirt Orientation and Yellow Shirt University, which are two events that all of Dancer Relations committee members go to. And then my major responsibility for right now and THON weekend is dancer interviews. So I actually help find all of the dancers on the floor. I work with the public relations liaisons on dancer relations so that they can best support their dancers.
Throughout the year, I have been working with organizations to approve and to look over alternative fundraisers, so kind of different fundraisers that organizations have that aren't necessarily pre-approved by THON, coordinating those along with helping with donation box distribution.
First of all, I am in charge of just keeping the Family Relations Committee organized in general by taking meeting minutes, sending weekly reminders, and just all things like that. Another thing that I am in charge of is creating our family education program, which helps families share their stories, which I then share with the rest of the THON community and volunteers each week. I also am in charge of logistical planning of pre-THON events like Harvest Day and 5K. And then during THON weekend, my main role is to create all the timelines for our families, for our teen families, and virtual families.
As the hospitality committee, we're serving all of the food and beverages during THON weekend to spectators, to families, captains. We serve food for everything during THON weekend, but Maddie and I's specific role is for dancers.
So we just kind of finished going through all of the dancers that have special dietary needs, and we were able to cut it down a lot this year so that not as many dancers have to bring in extra meals.
So we'll be serving 10 meals to dancers all throughout THON weekend, and our main role is basically acquiring those donations with our co-captains' help.
Throughout the whole year, we have to work pretty hard to keep in touch with donors and manage those relationships, because a huge part of our position in the hospitality committee in general is the fact that everything we have are in-kind donations.
Entertainment, if you couldn't tell, the whole committee, our whole role in THON is to make sure that every event pre-THON and THON weekend is as entertaining as possible. So we do that through like a lot of facets. I myself am a DJ, so I am a DR and host DJ along with my co-captain. That means that pre-THON I am DJing and kind of running all of DR and host's pre-THON events. And then also THON weekend, I will be behind the stage, DJing it up back there with my co-captain.
I'm a finance gift entry captain, which means I handle all of the individual monetary check donations that get sent back to us, mainly through the THONvelope initiative. And then I also get to lead a committee of 20 finance committee members.
My position is I'm one of the 2 THON history captains along with my co-captain Callan, and our job is specifically to run the THON history tours, THON weekend, as well as a stage game. And we are all, like, everything we do is essentially for the dancers to be able to come and learn about more of THON's history, play some little activities, craft a little bit. And as far as our role throughout the year, we have taken on a couple of different like tables and things like that about all of our co-captains events, including 100 days. And we've also had live stream videos at 5K and things like that.
I am a second-year merchandise captain. My position specifically is data analytics and forecasting, where I help process a lot of data for on the merchandise committee, whether that be trying to predict orders when the prices through the online website are going to be high, working with the technology committee in order to help process the new inventory system that we're starting to implement this year for merchandise itself. I also work with finance as well when it comes to sort of like the settlement sort of aspects and trying to make sure that all aspects of the merchandise committee when it comes from a financial standpoint are safe and sound for the most part.